Hi, everybody. It's been a long time since I have been on YouTube, but here I am. Um, my name is Sandy Bacus. My channel name is Sandy B. Stitcher, and I am a cross stitcher, and occasionally I do some crochet. Haven't been doing much of that lately. Um, I haven't been on here since August of 2024. And I'm sorry that I kind of left everybody hanging because in that video, I believe that I said I was going to try to come back on a more regular basis. Um, I have a few things to show you. I am having a clue as to what I showed you the last time. I decided not to rewatch the video. My hair is wet. I took a shower and I watched church this morning on the TV on YouTube, and I decided that I'd been thinking about doing a video, just hadn't got around to it, and so I decided that I was just going to go ahead and do it, show you what I did have out, and I have a finish, and I have some really good progress on a couple of projects. I had been spending more time on a project than I had before. I used to spend just a few days on one and then move on to something else. And I found that lately it was easier just to work on one project for a while. I will give you a health update so that you know what was going on, why I have been gone for such a long time. First, I wanted to let you know that my husband Bob is still kicking. He is still at the nursing home. He has been there for just over a year or 2 years. It was 2 years the beginning of January. For anybody that doesn't know, he is in late stage Parkinson's caused by Agent Orange in Vietnam. And thankfully, the VA is paying for his nursing home, and they have been really fantastic as far as his care. And that's a really good thing because it has allowed me to keep my home and to have enough money to eat when this grocery price is going sky high. And the next thing is my cats are all doing well. I have 5 cats. There is Boots, Buddy, Miu, Axel, and Patches. And a lot of them were strays, and I took them in, some not, but they're all still doing well. In fact, I think I just let 2 of them in from outside. I'm in northern Ohio. Our temperature here today, I think it said, was 28. We had some horrible, horrible, cold polar vortex weather. And well, we were below zero here. It was snowing down south, and I can't even imagine for the people down south what it was like for them to have snow when they don't ever have snow. But I know what it was like up here, and we were freezing. And there were several times when we had some pretty low temperatures that my pellet stove was not working, and I was waiting on parts. And yeah, I had a terrible time trying to stay warm. I had to bury myself under blankets, but I digress. Um, and my granddaughter, Miranda, my oldest granddaughter, is still living here with me. She has changed jobs. She had been working quite a few years for Books A Million, and she decided she just really didn't care for that anymore. And they did have a cafe there, which she had worked in because she was one of the minor managers and could do most of the jobs in the place. And she decided to go to Starbucks because Starbucks paid a couple of dollars more per hour, and they will pay for college, for additional college. And she already has a bachelor's degree in psychology, but there just aren't really a lot of jobs around here in that field. And she decided that she was going to try something else. And I think she is still thinking about what it is that she wants to take some schooling for. Um, and that's where we're at as far as everything. I will go into my health issues at the end. This isn't probably going to be a very long video. You'll know because you'll see how long it is. I'm going to show you the stitching first. Usually I talk about my health first, but there may be some of you that are only here to see the stitching. So I'm going to pull out a few things here. This is one of the projects that I have really been trying to put in some extra stitches into. I got this years ago to stitch for Bob and my 40th wedding anniversary. Well, in November, we celebrated 46 years. So that tells you I had too many whips, and I probably still have over 20 whips, and I have things that are kitted and ready to be started, but I have not started anything in quite a while. But this is Love Never Fails by Barbara Anna Designs. And I always loved the saying on this: love is patient, love is kind, it always protects, always trusts, always perseveres, love never fails. And although because of my health, I didn't go to see Bob for a couple of months, and I think he had given up on me. His brother was going in there to see him, but I couldn't. I was just too ill, and I'll explain that later. But I'll show you where I got on this. I had started on the side with the woman, and I have to move actually, I think I'll just take off my needle minder. And I still can't move my left arm much, so I will try. If I have to, I'll try to stand up and show you. Yeah, I'm going to have to stand up and put this in front of the tablet. There, I think you could be able to see it now. I had done that side with the lady and had quite a bit of that done. Then this past year, I moved across the top there, and I put in the 1978, which was the year we were married, and then I started down and into the heart. And recently, I had been putting in a lot of the letters. And then I moved down to below the cat. The cat had been finished. Axel, no. Axel, I don't need you up here to help me. Let's see if we can get Axel down. Axel is Maine Coon mix, and he is a big guy. Okay, down you go. All right, there you go. You stay down there. And anyways, I moved down there, and I had been working a little bit below the cat. And so there's Love Never Fails. And I intend to keep working on this off and on now until it is done. I will pull something else out and work on it for a bit and then go back to this because I do want to get this finished. Because I don't know how much longer Bob will be with us. He's not ill, but other than the Parkinson's, but he started refusing all his pills this last year, and he will not He will not take any of his pills, and he they have him on pureed food because of his throat. His he can't pass a swallow test. He tends to cough a lot and has trouble sometimes with food staying in his mouth and him not being able to swallow it. Um, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact they're making him eat pureed foods and he hates them. And he tried to eat some of them for a while, but this, I guess, during the time when I wasn't going there, he started refusing to eat. And we, I went for the first time this past week with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law has been taking him different fast food. When we went, I think, yeah, we went on Friday. Today, I didn't tell you the day today. It's Sunday. It's January 26th, I believe. Yes, January 26th, 2025. And we took him pizza and garlic knots from Domino's, and that's his favorite pizza, and some orange pop. And he did do some throat clearing and everything after he ate, but he ate most of a small pizza. He ate most of the garlic knots, and then his brother gave him some treats like Twinkies. I'm not sure what he gave him, but I had bought a whole bunch of stuff, and we keep it there at the nursing home. Some small donuts. I think they call them donuts or something. Um, and he ate all that stuff. I mean, he was hungry. And I don't know if he's refusing all of the food or some of the food or what's going on because I haven't been there. But he's lost a lot of weight. I noticed it as soon as I walked in. I could see in his face that his face looked so much thinner. And so, if he continues to not want to eat, although we are trying to get in there and give him the food that he will eat as often as we can, but it's a long drive for his brother. Um, it's about 45 minutes for his brother to go there, and I'm about halfway between. So this last week he stopped here, and then we take my car to save miles on his truck because his truck is getting kind of old. And so then I drove and we went the rest of the way. And it's about 16 miles from here to the nursing home. So it's a long trip for his brother, and it's a long trip for me too. But it is what it is. The next one that I'm going to show you, and I guess I'm interjecting a lot of stuff in between here. This is a Dimensions gold collection at Paris Market, and I just love the colors in this. I am a color person. I don't like the bland colors. I like bright colors. I love flowers. And I worked on this some, and I'll get it up here and show you where am I at on this. Not very far when you consider the size of it. And this I should be able just to show you this way. I can get my arm up a little bit, but not a whole heck of a lot. And for anybody who doesn't know, I had a reverse shoulder replacement. And if I pull down my bra strap, you can see that, of course, I'm skin and bones. I lost 40 pounds, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's not right. The surgery was right. Let me preface that the surgery was right. What happened is my back got bad. I couldn't do the occupational therapy, and I've had occupational therapy several times since then, but it was too late. I couldn't, they couldn't bring it back. So it is what it is. Okay, there is my work on Paris Market. And I hope you enjoy seeing that. All right. Now, the next thing that I have, I have my finish here. So I'll show you my finish. This was a free chart from Brooks Books. There were 4 of them. There was spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I have finished one other one, I believe. And this was autumn or fall. And there is the completed, trying to get the sky in up there and the bottom. Now, there were spiders over here and webbing, and I didn't want that next to my house, so I left those off. But other than that, this is everything. There was only a small amount of back stitching in it, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. And when I get them all done, I'm going to frame them, I think, and well, someday maybe I'll get them framed. I have so much stuff that because of my ill health that's finished, and I never got it fully finished. It's a project for the future. Okay, this one I didn't bring over the chart because I think you guys have seen it so many times, and I'm going to pull down I tend to leave, I park on this, so I have a lot of hanging threads, and I will try to pull them down, take off the needle minder. Guess I could have been a little better prepared. And this one I definitely will have to stand up for because it's so big. This is Hade Mini Mount Cabin Home. And pull down this top piece. I may, because I can only go back so far. So what I may have to do is, well, maybe I can get it all in here. We'll see. Pull this down a little bit more. All right. Not getting the top in there. All right. There you should be able to see the whole thing, where it's at. I have made progress on this. And I get it out every so often, and I put some more stitches in it. And I will bring it up closer and show you a closer view. And then I'll move it over here. And down there. And I think the last time I showed it, I didn't even have the quilt done that's on the rocking chair. I could be wrong, but I don't think I did. But there is that. And that's all the stitching that I have gotten out to show you. I know if, I have to pause for a minute because I have a cat that wants to, you know what, I'm afraid I won't be able to pause this, so, because I'm using a tablet, and so just hang on for a second. Okay, I'm back. And yes, I'm wearing a Christmas sweatshirt. My clothes are all so big for me. I mean, I don't know if you can see this thing it's just hanging. And my pants, I have tie things on them so that I can keep them up. Um, so, anyways, I'll get into the health issues now. In August, I told you guys that last February, a year ago in 2024, I got COVID. And I ended up with long COVID. And I was very ill. I was in the hospital, in and out of the hospital multiple times between February and I think about April and May. I had multiple tests run, um, endoscopy, you name it. And I ended up with major intestinal issues and stomach issues. And for a good share of the summer, I don't want to get too personal, but I had a problem with major diarrhea. And a lot of that had to do with the weight loss and a lot of things I couldn't eat. Things that I eaten before all of a sudden just made me sick. And so I needed to see a specialist, a gastroenterologist, GI doctor, but getting in there is difficult. Specialists, I don't know, around here, trying to get in to see a doctor that's anywhere close. Now, if I would drive to Cleveland, I would have gotten in faster, but um, I had to, I couldn't even drive for a long time. Um, I had to have people drive me everywhere I went. And I was just too weak. And and my stomach was just topsy turvy constantly. Um, so I finally got to see the gastroenterologist, I think in, might have been like September. And um, then they wanted me to have a colonoscopy to check out my intestines. And I couldn't get in for that until the middle of November. And I finally went for that, and they started talking to me about Crohn's disease. So I started looking on the internet and following up everything on Crohn's disease, and there is no one diet for Crohn's disease, but there are a lot of foods that generally will bother most people that have Crohn's disease. So I started trying to follow that. But I still continue to have issues. I did see a functional medicine doctor in September, and they put me on some special supplements and stuff, and that diarrhea finally stopped. So I was doing the functional medicine, trying to pay attention to the internet, reading everything I could on Crohn's and colitis. They did a bunch of like 10 biopsies of my large intestine, and they told me that my large intestine had all kinds of open sores in it. And the biopsy results came back. Everything was benign. There was no cancer, nothing malignant in there. But they said it looked like colitis. So then I started looking at diets for colitis, and I was kind of, going back and forth between the two, being very careful. There was a long period of time where I ate basically nothing but chicken, plain cooked chicken in the Instapot, rice, plain white rice, and bone broth, drinking bone broth. And then I got really tired of that. And I asked functional medicine, could I start trying to add in a couple of things? Well, I found out that beef was a problem. I couldn't handle, my stomach couldn't handle, or the intestines, something couldn't handle the beef. And then and I kept going back to doctors, and so I finally, to make a long story short, I finally just asked the GI. They had me seeing a nurse practitioner, and I finally asked, I said, "Do I have colitis? Do I have Crohn's? Or don't I?" And they told me that no, they didn't think that I did have Crohn's or colitis, because I had a CAT scan too. Forgot about that. I had a CAT scan too, and after the CAT scan, they told me that no, I didn't have Crohn's or colitis. They believe that the sickness that I was having, because after I had the colonoscopy, I was terribly, terribly sick to my stomach, terrible nausea every single day. And they prescribed Zofran to try to help it, did nothing. And then finally, after several weeks, and of course, I couldn't, even though I was trying to eat, I was having a terrible time trying to eat anything. And I, I got down to 119 pounds, and I just could not gain anything. In fact, one time I stepped on the scale, it was 118. And I was scared because I thought it was just going to keep going down. And I hadn't weighed that kind of a weight since I was a kid. And so I was definitely scared. And because I had been originally 5'9". Because of the fractures in my back, I'm now down to probably around 5'5" the last time they measured me at the doctor's office. Because I have 7 fractures in my back, which is a whole nother issue. But anyways, back to the stomach. No Crohn's, no colitis. They said it was caused by the NSAIDs that I had taken for my back. Now, every time that I had taken an NSAID, I never used more than the prescribed amount. And most of it was over the counter, like Motrin or Advil. Um, I, like I said, never more than the prescribed amount. I always had food in my stomach when I took it, drank a lot of water with it, and still it ate up my large intestine and caused major inflammation throughout my entire body. So this is my, what do they call those? Public service announcement, PSA. Be very, very careful if you are using any kind of NSAIDs. My family doctor told me that he has actually known of patients who, when having a pulled muscle or something like that, were given a 2-week regimen of a prescription NSAID, actually end up having problems like I had. I had used NSAIDs off and on for years because I've had back issues for years that have gotten better, gotten worse, gotten better, gotten worse. I've had lots of physical therapy, but the back always seemed to mess up again. And then while caring for Bob, it really did me in because I was knocked down a couple of times when he was falling. Me trying to lift and move him when he had fallen. At that time, when I was caring for him, he weighed about 255 pounds. So I was trying to move a mountain, and I hurt myself very badly, or he hurt me, whichever way you want to look at it. I probably should not, he probably should have been in a nursing home long before I made him go, but I told him that I would take care of him for as long as I possibly could, and I did that. So I feel like I kept that promise to him. He doesn't think I did. He thinks that I still could have taken care of him, but he doesn't realize. And when I've been sick these last months, he told, or the little he can talk, he let his brother know that he didn't believe I was really sick. He just felt I wasn't coming to see him. And when I did walk in there to see him last Friday, his eyes just lit up. And it made me so happy that I was able to go there and that he could see me. Um, I have to be honest with you. I don't have a lot of love left for him because of what he's put me through and some of the things that he said through the years. And it has become known to me by other people talking to me to help me to feel better because I was so guilty. But Bob has a narcissistic personality, and I have lived with that for over 46 years. Even though he hasn't been here, I was going to see him all the time. So for 46 years, I have been put down, not made to not feel very good about myself. And it's taken me a long time to get past a lot of that. And so I care about him deeply. I care about what happens to him when he does pass away. If he goes before I do, I will be heartbroken. But as far as having romantic love, no, that's gone. Um, I still love him as a person, but not in the romantic sense. I hope you can understand that if you're still watching, um, because I think there's a lot of people that go through that when their family members have health problems. They make themselves impossible to love. And his brother tells me that he feels, because he's been seeing Bob much more than I have lately, and he says he thinks that Bob has become more irrational because of the fact that he's refusing to eat, refusing his pills. And that is part of Parkinson's. Dementia is a very big part of late stage Parkinson's. And, anyways, back to me. Um, I had been going also to pain management, and what I'm doing now is I take a Tylenol about mid-morning, around up to about noontime. I haven't taken one yet. It's the 8-hour arthritis strength Tylenol. I take one. The box says two, but I take one because large amounts of Tylenol can cause kidney problems. So, since I had the problem with the NSAIDs, I'm being very careful with the Tylenol. My pain management doctor, I went through pain injections. I had what they call RFA, radio frequency ablation, where they actually use heat to burn the nerves, and they can only do one little section at a time. And I had this done in the summer sometime. And I can't remember just exactly when. It only lasts about 6 months, and they did the lower left portion of my back. It took a couple weeks to take full effect, but it did help that part of my back. I still had pain in other parts because I have the fractures all the way up the sacroiliac part of the spine, what they call the S vertebrae. I have it in the lumbar section, and then I have one in the thoracic, which is up in your middle back, and they said possibly two in there. So there's approximately 7 total fractures in my back. And that is painful, believe me. And my back still hurts. I am very much bent over. Um, and I walk with a cane. In the house, I can walk because there are furniture, handrails, things that every so often I can put my hand out and hold on to something. But to go out and walk, to go anywhere, I need to use a walker. I was using a walker. Now I've graduated to a cane. Um, and if I'm having a really, really, really bad day and I have to go out like to a doctor's office, I will use the walker. But compared to what I was earlier, I'm doing much better. My nausea finally went away when they gave me some Compazine. It took Compazine is usually the nausea reliever that they will give you in the hospital, like when you have anesthesia or something that could cause you to have nausea, they will give you Compazine. And they gave me a prescription, and it only took a couple of times of taking it, and the nausea went away. And since then, I have been adding in a few new foods. Um, I I made what I call goulash the last week. I was actually able to stand up in the kitchen long enough. I do have a stool up there that's on wheels. I ordered it from Amazon. It has a small seat and a small back on it. And so it's not like you can plop your behind on it and spread out. It's just enough that you can sit and lean back on it. And I can roll it around the kitchen to get it in and out of my way. And if I'm up there doing something like washing dishes or something and my back just really starts to hurt, I can sit on it and take a break for a few minutes. Same thing if I'm trying to cook something. Well, it just came up, said I got a low battery. So, and I don't have a thing over here. But anyways, I'll wrap this up. I am doing much better. I cooked that goulash last week. It was the kind with the tomatoes in it. I took some hamburger out yesterday. I'm going to try to make a mild chili. And I love chili in the winter. And I've never been able to do spicy. So I'm going to make it very mild. And I hope I'll be able to eat that. And, but I'm still going to functional medicine and taking their vitamins. They promote the Shaklee vitamins, a little pricey, but they're very high quality. So the main thing is that I am doing somewhat better. I can now stand up, have minimal pain. I can sit down and have minimal pain, and I can walk with minimal pain unless my back starts really getting bad. And I do have tramadol. It's the lowest on the opioid thing. I try not to take it unless I absolutely need to. But we're at over 39 minutes. Didn't think it would take this long for me to say this, but I want to send all my love out to everybody, all my hugs out to everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. And I've missed doing this. I've missed sharing my cross stitching. I have put some things on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm Sandy B Stitcher. I don't very rarely put anything on Facebook. I've become very disillusioned with Facebook. It's just all creator stuff and very little personal stuff. So I don't even, I glanced at it to see if anybody in my family has posted something, but other than that, not so much. So, and Kathy, I will be sending that chart out to you now that I'm starting to feel better. When the weather gets a little warmer and I can go to the post office, I will get that to you. I promise. And that's it for now. As I said, love and hugs out to everybody and keep on stitching. Bye.